My name is Elana Spod and today is the 30th of March 2025. I'm an abstract artist who explores the relationship to mind and body through automatic drawing and finger painting. My practice allows me to create gestural work straight from my unconscious emotions, lived experiences, senses and memory. I'm also super interested in art therapy and how creative outlets and the simple act of process and creating can heal and express traumas or memories. I'm currently based in New Zealand in the South Island, but was born in Germany and also spent some time in Australia. I moved a lot when I was a child, and I think this led to my interest in emotional expression in my artistic practice, as I've always struggled with the idea of home and belonging in or to a place. My practice explored those themes and ideas a lot while I was completing my Bachelor of Fine Arts with honours and has since progressed to a wider scope. My biggest influences are artists like Jackson Pollock, Claude Monet, Cy Twombly, Vasily Kandinsky, Mark Rothko and Yves Klein. I love big abstract textural and gestural works, and I'm also super inspired by colour. I'm currently studying art therapy alongside my creative practice, which is super fascinating. I find my creative process more insightful and rewarding than the actual finished artwork, and having such an abstract and playful practice means people don't quite understand all the important parts that go into actually making it. So studying art therapy has been really rewarding in the sense that my process has been acknowledged more than the finished product. There's real value in the making and what it can do for your well-being and creativity. So far, the biggest challenges for me as an artist have been my expenses and my creative studio space. Materials are expensive, and especially with the quantities I go through, it's always been a big struggle justifying these costs. Not having a studio space has also been a huge challenge for me until relatively recently. I find it easier to begin my creative process when I don't have to set up any materials or be wary about making a mess in the space I'm in. So having a studio that the sole purpose of is for housing my creative process and artwork is a real privilege. The advice that I would give my younger self would be not to worry about what you want to be when you grow up or what you want to do with your life. You will figure it out. There will be the people that are unsupportive of a creative career and pathway, but you figure it out and you end up finding the one thing you want to do with your life. Just enjoy the joy, freedom, and friendships that your creativity brings you. I would say finger painting is a relatively unconventional technique or medium. It's kind of a playfulness that a lot of us adults have forgotten how to do, with there being zero expectations on the final creative artwork and just creating solely because of how it makes you feel is something harder, way harder than you realize to teach yourself again. It's very freeing using my body and hands to manipulate the paint and charcoal. The messier it is, the freer I feel. I often sit through several minutes of guided meditation to start my creative process. I find it grounding, and especially when I explore different states of mind, emotion and subconsciousness, it's easier to feed into that state of being. After that, I either listen to soft classical or instrumental music or nothing at all. I often become so absorbed into my process of gestures and mark making that I don't need any other stimulants. My art becomes a raw translation of my current state of mind and body as I create a visible journey of vulnerable, raw gestures that then disappear from sight unless time is spent to study the depths underneath the surface. My favourite reactions that I get from people looking at my work is when they actually spend time uncovering those marks and gestures. The works also change depending on the natural lighting and your position in front of them, so I find it really rewarding when people keep coming back and spending time with the work once they've uncovered all the different layers and how the works change over time. My work is extremely vulnerable, and I often call them diary entries. Each layer or new work is another diary entry expressing my current state of mind and emotion. I hope when people look at my work, they can see my vulnerability and resonate and find solace within the textures, marks, emotions, and gestures that I've left behind. Thank you for listening.